What's up guys, my name is Joshua Valor. Today we're going to be talking about the Massdrop collaboration, the 99 Noirs. Now for complete transparency, Massdrop did send this out for a review. They are not asking, paying, or otherwise trying to influence me to say anything good about this product. All thoughts and opinions are my own. A little bit ago I actually already reviewed the 99 Classics. And these are essentially the same exact headphone, except they come in a slightly different color. They come at a cheaper price and with an extra pair of pads. Now, I'm not going to re-review a headphone that I've essentially already reviewed, but I will talk a little bit about the bullet points of the sound quality and the difference between what the different pads offer. But like any review, we're going to go ahead and start off with build. So this is basically like the dark version of the 99 Classic. The 99 Classic comes with either gold or silver accents and cups that are not stained the way that these are stained. They actually have the same exact structure on them, except on the headband, these say 99 Noir rather than 99 Classic. And on the inside, they actually finally have a right ear cup indicator on the inside of the headband, and they also have Massdrop written on the inside of the left side of it. And then they did stain the wood cups to be a little bit darker. So the pair of pads that are stock on this are exactly the same as the 99 Classics, and that only had the one pair of pads, and that were these. This actually comes with an extra pair of pads that are actually a little bit smaller and do affect the sound signature a little bit. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, regarding the actual build and fit of this headphone, it is pretty lightweight, fairly comfortable. It does get a little bit hot occasionally, but it does block out a lot of the outside world. So if you're looking for a closed back headphone that doesn't have active noise cancellation, this is a pretty good option, but you have to know what the sound signature is like. But before we get into the sound signature, let's talk about the efficiency of this. So this headphone clocks in at a sound pressure level of 103 decibels and an impedance of 32 ohms, which means that you can pretty much run this off of anything, including a phone. You're not going to see much of a benefit going to an amplifier with this specific headphone. All right, so now we'll talk about sound quality. I'm just gonna kind of highlight and bullet point what this headphone is all about. If you want more information about exactly breaking it down, go ahead and look over at the 99 Classic review. Bass response, specifically mid bass, is this thing's bread and butter. That is what this does. The bass response is fairly loose. It does make games and movies feel very fun. Where it really tends to have the most kick and punch is going to be between 90 and about 150 hertz. You're going to get a lot of impact, and this is what I would describe as a very punchy headphone. Now, mids are very present in the lower mid-range, and it's going to make singers like Avi Kaplan, who used to belong to the Pentatonics group, overall pretty impressive. But this does lose a lot of focus and a lot of that forwardness when you get into the upper mid-range, which is a little bit disappointing. Now, the treble response on this headphone is also fairly recessed. You're not really going to get a very forward amount of treble. Nobody's going to have issues with fatigue, and where I think this headphone really shines is like long kind of listening sessions, either at work or on a plane, something where you need to block out the rest of the world, and situations when you're really going to want a closed back headphone, not an open back, because in terms of total sound quality, these are not a clinical or an analytical pair of headphones. They are not what I would consider to be a high fidelity headphone. This is a fun headphone. That was the consensus for the 99 Classics, and it's going to be the exact consensus for this. Now we have the addition of the new pads, and what do they actually change? Well, they actually leaned into the sound signature that they already had. The new pads offer a much bassier response than these already have, taking it to a level that I think is a little bit, well, quite a bit overdone in my opinion. I would have preferred an extra pair of pads that were perhaps velour or velvet, something that leaned into a more open and airy sound signature that felt a little bit more natural and less bass focused. Now, if you're a bass head, this is really going to be your cup of tea, but if you're a more analytical guy like I am, this is not really going to be for you. This is going to be good enough to game for fun, but not going to be good enough to game competitively, in my opinion at least. And for movies, generally you're going to have a really good and fun experience for movies. Now, there is an actual album that I actually really recommend for this headphone. It's really enjoyable to listen to, was the new Billie Eilish album, which is When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? I think is the title of it. If you get this, definitely check that album out. It was a whole lot of fun. All right, so my conclusion of this, it's going to be kind of mirroring the conclusion of the 99 Classics. Does this compete with much more analytical, high fidelity headphones around the same price range? No. Open back or closed back, there are better options that I would recommend over this one. But if you are into the general bassy sound signature that this offers, you need a closed back, comfortable, long listening time headphone. And again, that huge caveat of you really like bass, which no problem if you do. It's all personal. It's all about what you like. This is not a bad option, especially at the new $200 price range. I thought you know, if you were into it, if you liked the sound signature, the build quality and everything was worth $300. And at $200, it's even better. All right, guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I have a couple things coming up here. I have the Clear review. I have a Clear versus Alex comparison video coming up. And I also have the HE35X review coming soon. So subscribe if you're not already, if you're interested in any of those. Until the next video, again, my name is Josh, signing off.